February 1942, Los Angeles war defences opened up on mystery objects in the sky. Was it Japanese aircraft, blimps, weather balloons, or was it something altogether more unearthly? It had all started so well, so peacefully. War raged in Europe, but the USA had distanced herself from it. Prosperity and optimism were in the air, but so too were the Japanese.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you this important bulletin from the United Press. Flash, Washington. The White House announces Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor.
Overnight, everything changed. Stung by the attack on Pearl Harbor, America rushed to strengthen defences in the major cities. The nation was now officially at war. The citizens of LA went about business as usual, but there was no disguising the underlying tension felt, knowing they were prime candidates for attack should the Japanese strike at the mainland. Just 2 months after Pearl Harbor, in the small hours of February the 25th, unidentified flying objects were spotted by trained military observers and thousands of civilians alike over Los Angeles. The sky lit up in a barrage of explosions and searchlights. Before the sun rose, over 1,400 shells would be fired at the mystery objects. But just what were the troops firing at?
And now for news of our own West Coast, we take you to Los Angeles and the report of Byron Palmer.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning. The anti-aircraft guns began barking during a blackout ordered by the 4th Interceptor Command at 2:25 a.m. The unidentified object, which some sources thought might be a blimp, moved slowly down the Pacific coast from Santa Monica and disappeared south of Long Beach. Army officials declined to comment on the possibility that the object might have been a blimp. However, it required nearly 30 minutes to travel some 25 miles, far slower than an airplane. Watchers on the rooftop of the Columbia Broadcasting Building in the heart of Hollywood could plainly see the flashes of guns and searchlights sweeping the skies in a wide arc along the coastal area. Concussion of the shells could be felt in downtown Los Angeles, 15 miles away. By 3:30 a.m., observers said the object appeared to be over the south of Long Beach.
The Army dispatched planes to intercept the objects, but with no reported success.
The evening alert ended at 10:23 p.m., but another was sounded at 2:22 a.m., and the blackout followed within 3 minutes. It covered Los Angeles County from Santa Monica to Pomona. At 2:27, all Southern California radio stations were ordered off the air, except those in San Diego. Approximately 20 minutes after the firing died down, the ship returned and headed westward from Long Beach toward Santa Monica.
At Santa Monica, the object or objects disappeared out towards the Pacific Ocean. Blimps and weather balloons are highly dependent upon wind direction, as their course is largely determined by it. Would the wind have turned 180 degrees, carrying the object all the way back to Santa Monica from whence it came? Would a blimp or weather balloon have survived direct hits from heavy anti-aircraft artillery? Would a blimp or weather balloon have survived the multitude of shrapnel that would have torn through even the sturdiest of aircraft? That something was up there was undeniable, and this was confirmed by Army Chief of Staff General George C. Marshall, as well as the Secretary of War, Henry Stimson, seen here discussing the incident with General Marshall. One Los Angeles Herald Express writer, who observed some of the incident, insisted that anti-aircraft shells had struck one of the objects several times. He was stunned that the object had not been downed. Also, a Los Angeles Times journalist, Bill Henry, said, "I was far enough away to see an object without being able to identify it. I would be willing to bet what shekels I have that there were a number of direct hits scored on the object." The episode was written off by officialdom, initially as war nerves, and then as a friendly fire attack on a weather balloon. There are many who believe that this was the first time the USA had engaged militarily with a craft which was not of earthly origin. The still and enlarged images of the craft would support that theory. But there's more. The very next day after the Battle of Los Angeles, the crew of the Dutch cruiser Tromp, sailing at the edges of the Pacific Ocean, and who knew nothing of the previous night's events, saw a large illuminated disc approaching at terrific speed. The object circled above the ship for 3 or 4 hours, then flew off at an estimated speed of 3,000 to 3,500 miles per hour. The officer on duty could not identify the object as any known aircraft.